Ladies and gentlemen, Squatch2828 coming to you with a video of my thoughts and reactions to Battlefield 5 so far. So, I've really been into playing as the medic class, among other things here in Battlefield 5 so far. And that's probably the biggest thing that Battlefield 5's got going for it. If you play Battlefield 1, you know that classes exist. So you had Assault, Medic, Support, and Recon that are all returning per the usual. But this time around, it's actually a lot better, I think, in terms of they actually focus on you getting score from healing, reviving, building with the support class, spotting with the recon class, doing what each class is actually designed to do. It's definitely a lot better. I think the red icon over everybody's heads that used to be there whenever you did a spotting in Battlefield 1, so you would see the red icon over their head and everybody would just point and shoot. That being gone has been extremely helpful. You still see that when like a sniper spots, but you actually just ping an area now instead of pinging a person. So you'll see that in some of the video background here. You'll see that the pinging is just an orange arrow that kind of just points to an area and says, hey, there's somebody there. The guns are interesting so far. I feel like there isn't really one that's more powerful than the other, but I haven't really had a chance to unlock all the guns and really test them out. They each also have their own specialization trees now, so instead of attachments, really the only attachment you have to worry about is a sight. The other things, the specializations are like progression trees for your guns, where you can actually choose whether or not you get a fast reload, you get a bigger magazine or better aim, something like that. But you can only choose a specific path, or at least at the moment. You are able to like prestige your guns in this, so we'll see how that goes. The Conquest gameplay has been just as good as ever. The maps are big and expansive. They don't really seem too close. The points don't. There were a lot of maps in Battlefield 1 on the smaller maps where it seemed like one team could just take all the points, and you were pretty much not able to do anything because of that. It does not feel like that in Battlefield 5. It feels very well spaced out. The maps are different and interesting. We have snow maps, desert maps, city maps, all your different maps, which is pretty nice. The gameplay has definitely been super awesome. I haven't had any issues with it so far. Really, there's been some weird glitches that have actually turned out to be more funny than not. I would say the vehicle gameplay is a little rough at the moment. The biggest thing is like the top gunner for tanks does not have much cover or any extra health or anything, so it's very hard to be a top gunner on a tank. I actually see a lot of tanks driving around without top gunners because of that. Yeah, they haven't. They actually reading through some comment sections and stuff like that. In game, there's a lot of things that they haven't added to the game yet. A lot of people are complaining. This game's not officially out, by the way. It doesn't come out till November 20th, 2018 here. But the ducking for the top gunners so they don't take any damage. The dragging of players that are hurt before you heal them. That's not in yet, but I still feel like there's a huge emphasis on revives. And actually playing medic has been the most fun because you get the most points, you get the most revives. I just go all in. I go ham. Pretty hardcore when I'm playing as the medic class. It's very nice. I do feel like it seems to be more of assists than anything. It's not easy to get a fast kill unless you have a certain type of gun. Not all the guns are balanced very well yet, but they'll get there, I think, eventually. Pull up. It's easy to switch between your gadgets, I think, this time around. I don't know if maybe you can make it pretty easy in Battlefield 1, but anyways, so far this game has just been pretty fantastic. The carnage is probably my favorite part about it. So you can actually call in rockets and stuff like that if you're the squad leader. And when those come in, things just get absolutely chaotic. Grenades flying everywhere. Your body flies all over the place. You're pushing in as a medic. You're pushing in as assault, trying to get your vehicle destruction kills. The sniping is pretty good so far. I haven't tried that out as much as I'd like to yet, but just because I've been so enthusiastic as playing as the medic here. But it's been quite interesting so far, this game has. I do think it's leagues above Battlefield 1. It is starting early on to already feel a little bit spawn die-ish, if that even makes sense. But I think they'll do some balancing here. Now, I think the biggest complaint that people have, one of the biggest things I was excited for is that the additional DLC is free for the game. But that's kind of led to, I believe, a focus on polishing the game before giving the amount of maps that are good. So there's only eight maps to start, which a lot of people aren't all that thrilled with. And then there's going to be a new map coming out early December for the game, which is pretty quickly after release. But a lot of people are like, the game's not complete. They should have brought out all the maps at completion. Well, the whole point is they're actually going to treat this game like it's coming out in waves. So with the DLC being free, you actually get a lot of content for $60 in the end. And I think that's the important part here. So similar to a game like Red Dead, where you get 60-hour campaign and all the actions and little details and things that are included for $60. It was well worth it. With Call of Duty, $60 only gets you the base game. If you want all the extra maps and DLC, you got to pay that extra money. Battlefield's not going to make you pay the extra money like they have in the past. You used to have to buy Battlefield Premium Pass, which used to be, I believe, an extra $50 or $60. Yeah, the extra, if you spend $80 on the Deluxe Edition, that might make you feel a little bit worse about it. Like, where's all the extra content? For $60, it's coming. They're going to release this game in kind of waves. They're actually over the next 2 years, I'd say, because they've been doing Battlefield games every 2 years now instead of every year, like Call of Duty does. I think they're going to bring out different aspects of the war, different battles of the war, at a slower rate, which makes it a little bit better because then you're a little bit more enticed to do it. Hopefully, it's not too slow. The problem with Battlefield Premium in the past was that games would come out, I would say, or new DLC would come out every 6 months or so, and that leaves you to play the same content over and over again for 6 months. When games like Fortnite and all those are having weekly events, additional challenges, and new overall things that come out on a weekly basis. So I think Battlefield's trying to take that approach too, especially by having the map come out earlier. If they release a new map or two every month, new guns every couple months, something like that, I think it'll be well worth it. And it's all free. You buy the game once and it's all included. There is no pay to play. There was never really a pay to win aspect necessarily with Battlefield, but it is all pay to play. Now, a lot of people do complain about the progression. It does seem to be a little weird this time around with not having attachments, but these specializations of weapons. I think it's an interesting take. But if they didn't have progression in the game, what would incentivize you to actually play the online, right? You need to rank up. You need to get better. You don't want to just stand around with all the guns ready to go. You want to take the time to actually put effort into this game. And I think the DICE and EA are going to make an effort to ensure that you want to come back. So hopefully, if you were waiting around to figure out if Battlefield 5 is worth the cost, I think it is. If you're going to compare this to should I buy this over Red Dead, I would say buy Red Dead first because the content you get out of the gate is well worth the money. Battlefield 5 is going to be a long-term game. And it's a game that you can pick up at any point, where Red Dead is something, it's a story that's, timeless. There's spoilers that are going to be out there the longer you wait to play. Where Battlefield 5, that has stories, but the war stories aren't really what people want to play. They want to play these conquests. You still do get the war stories, right? You still get the included campaign, where Call of Duty did away with that. So if I were to say choose between Battlefield and Call of Duty, that's more of your preference. Run and gun style is still going to always be Call of Duty. That's going to be your emphasis. If you want story, Battlefield 5's got story mode at least. And if you want if you want a battle royale experience, Battlefield 5 is not getting that till March. So if you're waiting for that, wait until March to get Battlefield 5 and get Call of Duty now, because it hasn't now. But they are coming out with it. It is something that they're spending a lot of time with. And I know that them putting a lot of time into this game is a little bit better than them not putting in any at all. Now, do I think there are some things that should be fixed already? Absolutely. But EA and DICE have always been like that. They've always released a game that has problems to start. But the problems here, I think, are outweighed by the awesomeness of the battles, the scale of the battles. I haven't had a chance to try Grand Operations because it's so slow to load into. But this game in general has been fantastic. The sniping, the emphasis on different classes, the up close and personal contact, it's all been very fun, very rewarding experience so far. I have not felt all that angry whenever I die yet. Now, Battlefield 1 did get to a point where so many people were playing it, it became a spawn fest. But now I'm hoping that people actually focus on the team play, the gameplay that's important, which is taking points and being a good squad mate, giving orders if you're the squad leader, and emphasis on actually playing the game the way it's meant to be played, which is as a team. So that's all I have on my thoughts and reactions so far to Battlefield 5. I believe it's a game that's only going to get better. Thanks for tuning in and squatching as always, and we'll be back with more gameplay real soon. Thank you.